Hello everyone! Welcome back to Piofiore Faded Memories! When I loaded the game, I accidentally pressed the advance button, but don't worry, the dialogue just started on ... so we literally missed nothing. But anyway, we are back, and last time we got a lot of information, and I'm not sure how I should be piecing it all together quite yet. I think all I know for sure though is that the casino is sketchy. For some reason. I don't know what they're up to, but they're sketchy. But we are already over halfway through this route, which is kind of crazy. So I'm assuming things are probably gonna start clicking into place soon here. I guess we'll find out. Also, I did want to quickly mention, just a reminder, not to spoil what happens in this route or the next route or just anything that I haven't got to yet. And spoilers do count if, like, you know, I'm theorizing. I'm like, oh, I think this. Even if I say that, like, I'm very sure of something, don't confirm or deny it. Don't say, yep, you're right, because I know it's still spoiling, so just don't tell me anything. Okay. It's very few people who do that, but it has happened a few times, so I just want to reiterate that. But yeah, that's all I got for the intro today. So let's just jump back into this. I spent the day vaguely absorbed in thought, doing nothing in particular. I couldn't help but remember that day. What day?
俺のわがままだ。困らせるだけだって分かってたが。
That day. That's right, you did tell us your past.
こんな話、どんなに親しいやつにだって、あんたに話した意味。
That's right, and you also said, do you know why? And then you never elaborated. I was like, what the heck? I've been feeling this way for a while now. I know I'm acting strange, but whenever I'm alone, I keep thinking about Gil. What's more, I wasn't able to act the same way I used to around him anymore. I was sitting at the breakfast table.
なあ、リリー。クレタの様子なんだが、昨日行った時、何か気にならなかったか?
Huh? Oh, yes. I did feel like there was something strange, but it was normal. Oh, Oh, what do you think, Oliver? Did you notice anything different?
Yeah, 特には。
You're being weird, Lily.
誰かさんが毎日のように外をフラフラしているせいで、書類仕事が溜まっていてな。ただでさえ裁判の準備があるというのに、おかげで私は3日ほど前から外に出ていない。
Oh, I see. Had I stepped on a landmine? I couldn't help but react awkwardly to Oliver's response. I reached out for my glass, hoping a sip of water would calm me down. Oh no, I can barely look Gil in the eye. Girl, you're down bad.
今朝はどうしたんです？調子でも悪いとか。
No, I feel fine. I must be still half asleep.
疲れが溜まってるんじゃないですか？ここのところ、毎日街中を動き回ってますし、今日は屋敷で少し休むとかどうです？
In response, let's see. The correct answer is, I want to go out. No, I want to go out. We don't have much time before the trial. We have to resolve the case as soon as possible.
そんなに俺を気にかけてくれるのか?
Gil cocked his head, and I felt my heart jump. I looked down, but spoke honestly. Yes, I mean, if you were arrested, I'd be very sad. It felt like Gil smiled a little. It didn't feel like it. I'm looking at it. He is, in fact, smiling a little. I wanted to see his face, but I couldn't muster the courage to look at him.
今日のところは屋敷で休んでてくれ。クレタの視察は俺一人で行ってくる。
Lame. Okay. Although I felt bad, I nodded at Gil's concern. After the meal, I went to wash the dishes. Just then, I heard Gil call out to me in a troubled voice.
いつも言ってるが、あんたは俺の客なんだ。そんなことしなくていいんだぜ。
But it's the least I can do to help. You've taken such good care of me. I answered with gratitude, although I still couldn't look him in the eye. Just then... Ah! What's going on? Am I falling? I suddenly slipped on a napkin that had been dropped on the floor. Hey! Which one of you did this? You sloppy mafia boys. Catch me. I lost my balance and was about to fall when Gil grabbed me. Oh. The moment The moment I realized Gil's face was so close to mine, I couldn't speak. I could feel the warmth from his arm around me, and my heart pounded in my chest.
大丈夫だったか、リリー。
Yes, thank you. He knew I was a bit shaken and gave me a warm smile to calm me down.
足、痛めてねえか。どこかぶつけたり。
I'm fine, I'm not hurt anywhere. I was so embarrassed in the position we were in and struggled to separate from him immediately. However, Gil had a tight grip on me and wouldn't let me go.
本当か？無理はするなよ。今日はずっと体調が優れねえみたいだし。
I'm really fine. I felt my cheeks burning at the sound of his voice in my ear. You could let go now, Gil. My voice came out suddenly, slightly rattled, and Gil sighed next to my ear as if he understood.
ああ、ずっと抱きしめたままでいるわけにはいかねえな。
You flirt.
残念だが。
He whispered in a voice that only I could hear, and my heart pounded even faster. Finally, he loosened his hold on me, and I took a step back, sighing with relief. Gil's eyes were gentle, yet I saw a heat in his gaze as he looked at me.
今のは不可抗力だった。許してくれ。これからは淑女に対してあんまり不用意に触らねえようにするから。
ギルバート、少しいいか。陪審員の件で確認したいことがあるんだが。
ああ、今行く。
Gil answered Oliver and walked back toward the lounge. I was grateful to Gil. But when he was so close, I felt as though I was losing my mind. But
これからは淑女に対してあんまり不用意に触らねえようにするから。
for some reason, I felt a pain in my heart. No! I want him to touch me out of the blue. Curses! Am I sad about that? I think you are, girl. Gil's smile wouldn't leave my mind. I couldn't behave normally around him, but the thought of him distancing himself from now on made me feel lonely. I don't know why that line was so hard for me to say. I returned to my room, and with my heart still aching. I have nothing to do. Thanks to Gil's consideration, I had today off. But with all this freedom, I had nothing to do. Is Leo here? Is he chilling with us, or does he just kind of hang out outside the room? Although I wanted to rest, I didn't feel sleepy, probably because I wasn't sick. I wonder where Gil is right now. Could he be near Nina's shop? Oh. Once again, I let my guard down a little, and thoughts of Gil flooded my mind. In an effort to take my mind off him, I decided to spend some time reading a book. The book that Oliver lent me the other day was interesting, and before I knew it, I was completely absorbed. I was surprised when I looked up and checked the time. What? It's past noon already? I wasn't very hungry, but I did feel a bit thirsty. It's a little cold today, so maybe I can make a cafe latte. I left my room with that thought in mind. After preparing in the kitchen, I took it with me to the lounge. How rare, no one's around. Where's Leo? I didn't see Leo either. Where is he? He's supposed to be my guard, but he's not even around. His job was to guard me, so he should be somewhere in the manor, but perhaps he was out. And Gil's not home yet either? A part of me felt relieved, not having to face him, but suddenly I felt really lonely. Why am I feeling like this? I already knew. I think I have, but I won't admit it. I gripped the mug tightly. I'm so selfish. I let out a sigh and sat down on the sofa. As I drank, I felt warmth spread throughout my body and melt away my tension. It's cold outside, so once Gil comes back, maybe I can make him something hot to drink. Maybe it's because I finally understood my true feelings after being confused so long. With my body warm and mind at ease, a peaceful drowsiness came over me. Nap time! No, I can't sleep here. Well, you are. I need to return to my room. Well, it's not happening. The screen's going dark. For the past few days, I'd been thinking of Gil so much that I could hardly sleep. Dang. I didn't know that. Dang, girl. I didn't realize it was that bad. Could hardly sleep. I was struggling to fight off my drowsiness. Just for a minute. I somehow managed to place my mug on the table. It's gonna be more than a minute. And I slowly closed my eyes. We're gonna wake up and he's gonna be back. Hello. There was nothing different about Kreta. The people were walking around, energetic, bright, and full of smiles. Relieved, I returned to the manor and headed to the lounge as usual, where I will be passed out. I looked around at the empty lounge and remembered.
そういや、下の連中にオリバーが何か頼んでたな。
When my eyes reached the sofa, I suddenly startled. You keep saying eyes. One of your eyes is covered, Gilbert. It's I. For some reason, Lily was lying across it.
まさか、本気で具合が悪かったのか。俺はてっきり。
I quietly went over to the sofa and spoke. Good morning.
リリー、大丈夫か？
Lily was sleeping peacefully.
なんだ、寝てるだけか。
She didn't seem to have fainted or anything. After my initial relief, I couldn't help but feel a little irritated.
しかし、こんな誰が来るかもわからねえような場所で寝るなよ。
I couldn't help it. I've been thinking of you all day and all night, and I couldn't sleep. I got down on my knees and peered into her peaceful face. Oh wow, you're really peering. You're close. The sunlight peered in through the window, and her golden hair glowed like sweet honey. She moved ever so slightly, and her hair fell over her cheeks. So much for not touching ladies out of the blue. Before I knew it, I found myself touching her hair.
弱ったな。
I recalled how Lily was acting in the morning. She was trying so hard to act like her usual self, and I thought it was adorable. On the other hand, it was bittersweet, and I felt like I was suffocating.
恋愛に関しちゃ、そこそこ忍耐強い方だと思ってたんだがな。
Aww. Seeing her innocent sleeping face, I sighed. Cute! I'm sorry, I don't think I can last much longer.
早く気づけよ、リリー。
I whispered in a hoarse voice. I was praying for her to wake up, but continued to watch her sleep until then. It wasn't easy to do, but I couldn't get myself to walk away. There was no way I'd let anyone else see her sleeping like this. Eventually, she woke up. Noticing me beside her, she panicked, turning bright red. Honestly, I was really happy that no one else was able to see her sleeping face. Surprise! Gilbert's right there. It was extremely cold in the morning, and I sensed that winter was one step closer. I woke up and opened the window in my room to let the crisp air in. As I got ready, I thought about the incident. It's been almost 2 months since Gil was arrested. Little by little, I could feel that we were getting closer to the true culprit. I guess so, but I still don't fully get it. I don't know who it is! But we were still unable to see the full picture. Yeah, I cannot see the full picture. The church gave us 3 months. We don't have much time left. Not only that, Gil's trial was before then. Considering how little time we had left, I couldn't help but feel a sense of panic. What if we don't make it in time? I shook my head to shake off the anxiety, deciding to leave the room to clear my head. Oh. When I got to the hallway, I saw Gil. My eyes grew wide at the unexpected encounter. Gil looked up surprised for a second, but then immediately smiled with warm eyes. Warm eye!
Buongiorno. 今日もいい日にしようね。
Yes. All I did was respond, but that alone made me happy. Hearing Gil's voice made all my worries fade away.
あ、ボス、それとジョーちゃん。ちょっと。
は？
表の通りで薄汚い子供が声かけてきたんだ。ここに教会にいた女がいるだろって。
Luca?
何か心当たりはあるか？その女がギルを出してくれればわかるって言ってたんだ
That's my
わ。
sweet boy. Could it be... Luca, hi! Oh no.
姉ちゃん
You're sick. Again. No! Gil, please tell me that we're gonna save this boy. Look, he's coughing now. I think we've caught it early enough. Please, can we take notice and help him?
今
I
日は
can't,
あんたらに情報を売
I
りに
can't
来た
have him die again.
ストラノの
Seeing Luca for the first time in a while, it was clear at first glance that he'd gotten very pale. Wait, Luca, you don't look so good. See, your hands are so cold. I couldn't help but take his hands in mine. I think I'm supposed to say mine. I took his hands into my mind. Yeah. No. You're not gonna die. I refuse to let that happen, okay? It's not happening this time.
いや、これくらい
No,
普
it's
通
not.
だろ。
You're gonna die.
とにかく中に入れ。話はそれからだ。
ねえ、おい、俺みたいなのこの
Get
屋敷に入れ
inside.
ていいのかよ。
I'm saving your life.
当たり前だろ。だいたいこの屋敷は俺のもんだ。その俺がいいって言ってるんだぜ。
やだよ俺。こんな立派な建物落ち着かねえし。
Get in.
いいから来い。くれたじゃ。俺の命令は絶対だ。
Gil put his arm around Luca's shoulders and forced him to go inside. I wonder if he's okay. He's not. I swiftly followed after them. Luca seemed restless, looking around the room as if everything were a rare sight. Luca, if you can, eat a little. I offered him hot lemonade with honey and almond biscotti.
ああ、
Luca timidly nodded and slowly sipped the lemonade. I watched him for a little while. I noticed that Luca wasn't touching the snack I'd given him. I wonder if he dislikes nuts. Are you
それで
okay? I don't think you're
話
okay.
なんだけど、
ああ。聞かせてくれ、ルカ。
前にストラノに金回りのいい大人が増えてるって話したの覚えてるか？
I do remember that. Yes, I remember. I remembered it well. It was the day that Luca found the invitation with the $10 bill.
ああ、最近景気がいいのか知らねえけど、ストラノで金回りのいい大人が増えてるんだ。でも身入りのいい仕事は誰だって人に教えたくねえだろ。だからみんなどこで稼いでるか黙っててさ。ま、俺は俺でやるからいいけど。あいつらどんどん羽振りが良くなってて、よっぽど美味しい仕事なんだろうなって。じゃあ
What is it?
どこで何やってんだよって思って大人たちの後をつけてみたんだ。あんたストラノの外れに工場があるの知ってるか？
工場？ああ、あったな。そんなもんが。森の中にあるやつだろ。あそこはもうとっくに稼働してねえ。だいたいあの辺は狼が出るって話だぜ。近づくだけで命がけだろ。
俺もそう思ってた。けど大人たちはそこに入ってったんだよな。
Weird.
さすがに中までは覗けなかったんだけどさ。一応ぐるっと工場の周りを歩いてみて、そしたら裏の焼却炉みたいなとこにこれが落ちてて。
This is... What Luca showed us was a $10 bill that was half burnt. Are they making the counterfeit money there? Looking closely, you could see the print slightly
あ
faded.
んたら前にも10ドル札見て目の色変えてただろ。だからそれ何か関係あるんじゃねえかって。
でかした、ルカ。
Gil smiled widely and patted Luca on the head, then turned to give orders to his men.
おい、今すぐストラノの廃工場を調べろ。
了解ボス。
His men began to move quickly. Things seemed to be taking a huge turn, and I felt my heart leap. Just then, Luca, no! Luca! Luca collapsed onto the floor, and I rushed to get him up. Gilbert, do have a doctor on site. Come on, we're in a better spot now than I was with Orlok when he was worse than this. We can save him. It seemed like his cold had suddenly turned into a fever. He's burning up. Gil, please call for a doctor immediately.
わかっ
Yes.
た。
Good. You're gonna live this time, little boy. Luca was sleeping, but his rest was disturbed by painful coughs from time to time. Gil called for a doctor to examine Luca, but the doctor said there was a high chance it was malaria! A highly infectious disease that is widespread across tropical and subtropical regions. Fevers from malaria lower relatively quickly, but are often followed by continued and intermittent rising fevers. No, Luca! You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay! His fever would rise and fall in the coming days, and recovery was dependent on whether he had enough strength to make it through. Please, please! You gotta live this time! Luca. Before I knew it, the sun had set. Maybe him being like in an actual house where he can get proper like food and drink and not be like out in the elements. Like maybe that'll help him have the strength this time around. I looked out the window and squeezed the wet towel before wiping Luca's brow. Luca, are you awake? Are you okay? Are you in any pain? Luca nodded slightly. Seeing him react, I felt a little relieved and breathed a sigh.
なあ、姉ちゃん、あい
How
つ
do you
が
know
好き
that?
なんだろう。
You've seen us talk like twice. How do you know that? What?
当たった？そうだと思ったんだ。
You didn't figure out with Orlok.
さっきあいつが喜んでた時、姉ちゃんもすごく嬉しそうだったから。
You're an observant little boy.
そういうの早く言わなきゃダメだぜ。
And you should hurry up and not die. I poured a pitcher of water into a glass. I made him drink it slowly, and Luca's cough calmed down a little.
言いたいこととか。
You're gonna live, it's
言ってねえ
okay.
こととか
It's okay, you're
い
living.
ろいろあるなって思
I'm
ってさ
demanding it. I'm manifesting it. Luca? Luca continued on painfully, and before I knew it, I was gripping his hand.
もし俺が死んだらさ、俺が売った情報
You're
の
not
代
dying.
金を俺の母親に届けてほしいんだ。
You're not dying. I forbid it.
本当に役立たずのクズなんだけど、あんなのでも俺の家族だから、ギルに伝えて。
Okay, I understand. You're not dying! Don't worry, Luca. You're going to get better. That's right.
そうだと
It will happen.
いいな。
It will. I stroked Luca's hair. After a little while, Luca seemed to feel at ease and fell back asleep. Asleep. Come in. Hello.
ルカは眠ったか？
He seems to be in pain, but I think he'll be fine. The medicine seems to be working.
熱は？
It went down just a little. I'm so glad Luca came today. The doctor said that if he was any later, he may not have made it. Oh, thank God you showed up. And, you were later in Orlok's route.
ルカならきっと大丈夫だ。元気になったらうまいもんをたらふく食わせてやろう。
I don't think they're gonna kill off this kid twice. I really don't. Yes.
もうすぐ会合の時間だ。どうする？今夜はルカについてるか？
Gil was being considerate of my feelings, and after a moment of thought, I spoke. No, I'm coming along. There's not much I can do for Luca here. I'm really worried about him, but I have to focus on what I can do.
そうか。あんたは強いな。
Hello, Mafia boys. The three bosses gathered in the church late at night, along with Nicola and Orlok.
調査進んでる？こちらが提示した期限まであと少しだけど。
それに裁判はもう3日後だったな。
The trial's in 3 days! I didn't realize it was that soon!
俺たちは外野でレッドフォードの鮮やかな勝利でも拝ませてもらうとしよう。
本当に大丈夫なんだろうな。
こっちはこっちでやってるさ。優秀な部下が寝る間も惜しんで働いてる。
Though Gil responded brightly, his expression turned serious after a moment.
だが手詰まりを感じてるのも事実だ。情報を整理したい。新しく見えてくるものがあるかもしれねえ。
They all seemed to be on the same page and gave a nod. First off, $10 counterfeits are circulating mainly around Berlone. The true culprit somehow caused Gil to get arrested. These were the facts we already knew.
そもそもギルバートが濡れ衣を着せられた原因は掴んでいるのか？
ああ、ビスコンティの取引先にはアメリカ系が多い。ブルローネマフィアの中で取引にドルを使うことが一番多いのはうちだ。偽のドル札を効率よく流通させるにはビスコンティの仕切るようなでかい取引が必要だ。ビスコンティを潰して取引先を奪い、ほとぼりが冷めた頃、また偽札をばらまく。
Okay, so that's what
それが
Roberto
狙い
was
じゃね
saying.
えかと踏んでる。
See, that wasn't making... The way Roberto said it, I didn't get that out of it. But now that Gil's explaining it, I'm like, okay, I understand that. I feel like Roberto said it weird.
なるほど。
The bills are crafted so intricately that it's hard to tell they're counterfeits. Even after the truth comes to light, there are plenty of people who would be fooled.
そうだな。ラオ州はドルでの取引が少ないが皆無というわけではない。だが、レッドフォードの逮捕前の時点で偽札ドルが出回っているという話は全く聞こえてこなかった。
それはファルツォーネも同じだよ。うまく騙されていたってことだよね。
だとすれば、そもそも軍警察はどうやって偽札の存在をつかんだんだろう。
僕たちが気づくのより早く偽札の存在をつかんでいたのは確かにちょっと違和感があるよね。
俺が逮捕される直前にビスコンティの取引相手が逮捕されてる。それも大量の偽札を持った状態でだ。偽札の存在が露見したのはそこだな。
だが、なぜ軍警察はそれが偽札だと気づいた？あれは一目では偽物と気づかん代物だ。
君や僕みたいに嘘がうまい人間は世間一般的には少ないって知っておいた方がいいと思うよ。
That's fair. Though, Nicola, I think you're a way better liar than Yang. Like, Yang, his voice is just laced with deceit. Like, to me, it's like so obvious that he's never, like, telling the truth.
偽札なんて持っているだけで後ろぐらいだろうし、そんな時に逮捕されたら挙動不審になってすぐボロが出たんじゃないかな。
Or maybe they behaved that way on purpose. Ah.
そいつはかなりのギャンブル狂いだった。ブルローネのカジノともつながりがある。
なるほど。その取引自体、ギルバートを罠にかけるための餌だった可能性があるということか。
それと彼女についてなんだが。
Gil glanced at me, then spoke for everyone to hear.
鍵の乙女は命を狙われることがあるって話をダンテから聞いた。
But I don't think I'm related to this.
もし敵の狙いがブルローネ全体に及ぶなら、ファルツォーネの動きを封じるには鍵の乙女を抑えるはずだ。
Okay, never mind, maybe I am. But no one is after me, for once. At least not since I've been with the Visconti. Has anything happened to me?
あんたを狙った動きは何もなかった。
俺も見てたけど、不審なことは何もなかった。
Weird. It's rare that that happens. Usually someone is after me.
そもそもこの件の真犯人は鍵の乙女に関する情報を掴んでいないということか。
That's what I assumed.
敵の狙いにファルツォーネが絡んでいないのなら、俺たちの歴史についてまで調べる必要はない。今回の件は俺の杞憂だったようだ。
It feels like this incident was thought out and planned very carefully. Before the culprit decided on a target, they would have investigated all three families. True. They targeted the Visconti on the basis that they used the dollar the most. So, was the true culprit not able to uncover the history of the Falzone?
だが、用心するに越したことはね。
Definitely.
これからもあんたのことはビスコンティでしっかり守らせてもらう。
Gil looked at me, speaking with conviction, then changed to another topic.
ああ、そうだ。偽札の原版を作ってた職人の話をヤンが調べてくれてたよな。あなた、それ以上のことは何か分かったか？
リュウ・ファンフイが真犯人に資金援助をしているというくだりまでか。お前たちに話したのは。
Yes. Yang tapped his pipe as if refreshing his memory, and his deep golden eyes quietly glimmered.
原版はすでに欧州に渡っている。偽札の製造が行われているのは本国ではない。
ってことは、リュウ・ファンフイを叩いてもあまり意味がねえってことだよな。
ああ、今更だな。リュウ・ファンフイが降りたところで原版さえ手にしていれば他のスポンサーはいくらでも見つかる。特にアメリカ、シカゴの連中などよだれを垂らして飛びつくだろう。そもそもリュウ・ファンフイを叩くことが現実的ではない。あれはこの町のマフィアとは規模が違う。
Yeah, aren't they pretty big?
どうした？何か気になることでもあったか？
I timidly spoke up. I apologize if I say something strange. I was just wondering why the true culprit would choose them. I don't want to butcher it. Was it because the person who made the plate was Chinese? If that were the case...
わざわざブルローネマフィアの一角であるラオ州の親組織に資金援助を頼んだのは違和感があるってことか？
Yes, there's no way they wouldn't have known of their relationship, right?
ああ。この件の裏にいるのはそんな計画性のないやつじゃねえよな。
リュウ・ファンフイがラオ州を切り捨てたのは真犯人にとって予想外のことだったのかもしれない。本当はリュウ・ファンフイの指示を素直に聞いたラオ州と手を組むつもりだったとか。
That would make sense. They'd be in cooperation with an organization at odds with the rest of Berlone. If the situation were a little different, the Laoshu could have easily been our enemies. They usually are. Nicola's hypothesis seemed to make sense.
ヤン、お前はどう思ってるんだ？
俺がラオ州がお前たちと手を組むことを拒否する可能性は十分にあった。敵対こそしないにしても中立という立場でラオ州が不干渉を貫いていた場合にリュウ・ファンフイが偽札の製造に資金援助をしていると明らかになればお前たちはどう考える？
そりゃもちろんお前らラオ州はリー・ファンフィの金で偽札を作ってついでに敵対組織の頭である俺を陥れた。
俺が逆の立場でも同じように考える。真犯人は存外俺たちが勝手に潰し合って自滅することを期待していたのかもしれん。
Which, to be fair, that's what I was assuming was gonna happen. Like, it's shocking that it's not happening.
なるほど。そこまで考えてリー・ファンフィに取引を持ちかけたのか。
とすれば真犯人の最大の誤算はラオ州が俺たちと手を組んだことか。
He has a point there.
とにかくこの件は真犯人を挙げて原版を奪うなり製造工場を潰すなりしなければ終わらんだろ
う。Great.
それができれば話は早いんだけど、残念ながら偽札がどこで刷られているのかまだわからないんだよね。
Wasn't it that factory? I looked over at Gil, and he nodded slightly, putting his hand in his pocket.
こいつを見てくれ。ストラノの外れにある廃工場で見つかった。今部下に調べさせてるとこだが、十中八九ここ。
東大元暮らしってやつか。まさかこの町の中で偽札を作っているなんてね。
I feel like the air just changed. Within the icy cold of the church, it felt like a fire had just been lit.
カジノは通貨同盟の関係者を招待して露骨な接待ギャンブルを受けさせた。接待を受けてたやつは偽札の存在も普通に知ってたみたいだったな。
Right. I remember he even jokingly asked for lira instead of dollars.
だったらカジノの人間はディレットーレを含めて全員敵か。
Okay, director, you're my enemy now. I'm even more intrigued by you.
末端がどこまで知っててイカ様に加担してたのかはわからねえが、中数は間違いなく敵だな。それと通貨同盟が関係してるならイタリア王国
Well, there's only one person in the casino with a sprite.
諸外国の政府の人間が裏にいるかもしれねえ。
Something seemed to make sense to Yang. His eyes narrowed and he puffed out some smoke.
安定した通貨の一つであるドルの偽札が出回れば当然ドルの信用は下落する。そうなれば相対的にヨーロッパ各国の通貨の価値が上がることになるわけだ。
Our country would benefit from the counterfeits circulating. My brows furrowed with mixed feelings, and Dante spoke.
それも筋の通った推論だが、どうやら現実は多少異なる絵を描いているらしい。
どういう意味だ、ダンテ？
通貨同盟という存在について改めて調べた。だが出てくる情報は変わらなかった。通貨同盟は先の大戦以降機能していない。
解散こそしていないけど中身は空っぽだよ。実体なんて何もない。
Then, is someone quietly moving the currency union?
おそらく。俺たちの敵は国そのものじゃない。確かに各国の政府高官が関与している可能性はまだ否定できないが、
それ以上でもそれ以下でもないか。
Dante nodded and looked at Gil.
先ほどお前は自分が狙われた理由を組織の取引先には多くドルを使用するからだと言ったが、そもそも俺はビスコンティの取引相手や内容が漏れていること自体に違和感がある。
Huh? The point he questioned was something I hadn't thought of at all.
相手がアメリカ系だろうとリラやポンドでの取引もあるだろう。一概には判断できない。ファルツォーネのカポである俺にだってビスコンティの取引相手のリストや内容を把握することはできない。だが犯人は何かしらの確証を得た上で動いているんじゃ
Who
ない
the
か。
heck is it?
ビスコンティはドルで取引している。
となれば話は簡単だ。ビスコンティの中枢に情報を流しているやつが。
それはない。
Yeah, because the only other person in the Visconti with a sprite is Oliver, and it's not him. Yang seemed to be enjoying this, but Gil cut him off without hesitation.
だろうな。
Yang shrugged his shoulders and affirmed. Gil blinked in confusion.
ずいぶんあっさりしてるな。
話は最後まで聞け。別にお前の身内を疑っているわけではない。仮にビスコンティの人間が上を狙ってレッドフォードを潰そうと画策したとして、こんな手段を選べばレッドフォードどころかビスコンティ自体に類が及ぶ。それでは意味がない。
That's true. Yang's eyes narrowed and he continued quietly.
この町には組織の取引事情を俺たちと同等かそれ以上に把握できる人間がいたはずだ。
Hearing that, Gil's eyes grew wide.
ディレクトレ
Okay, I'm here for this. I'm here for this. Director, I've been waiting for you to be relevant. Oh,
あの部屋を使う人間をディレクトーレは必ず自ら部屋まで案内する。
前オルロックが会合に乱入した晩も彼はすぐに顔を見せたよね。
does that mean the director is always near the room during meetings?
内容を聞いてた可能性さえある。
Creepy.
僕たちブルローネマフィアはあの場所に長年の信頼がある。だからいちいち詳しく部屋を改めはしない。あのカジノに支配人として派遣されるのはその暗黙の了解を把握している人物だ。だけどもし彼が何らかの目的を持って僕たちを探るためにディレットーレという立場についたんだとしたら。
Ooh. Dante spoke with an expression more severe than usual.
指示を出しているのが政府の高官だとしてもブルローネにも必ず指揮官がいるはずだ。
同感だ。この町で偽札を吸っているのならな。
Then are you saying the commander is the director?
決めつけるには少々だが、改めて考えてみれば適切な役割分担ではある。カジノであれば偽札をばらまくのはたやすい。監禁の際に混ぜてしまえばいいのだから。
The route where I'm finally like, okay, who is the director? Why is he here? Why does he have a sprite? Is the route where it's like, he's the bad guy, though I still think he's Secret Boy. Silence fell over the church. Everyone seemed to be convinced of the answer in their minds. Eventually, Orlok looked around and spoke up.
じゃあこれからどうする？何か仕掛けるなら俺も協力する。
ああ、それについては俺に考えがある。
Oh? Gil had a mischievous smile of a trickster. After the meeting, we returned to the Visconti Manor, and I immediately went to see Luca. And I don't get to hear his plan, of course. Luca? I waited for an answer, but I didn't get one. I silently walked toward the bed. Luca seemed to be in pain as he breathed, but it looked like he'd finally fallen asleep. Luca had to be the one to fight the sickness. There was nothing I could do for him, but I wanted to help ease his pain, even a little. I wiped the beads of sweat from his forehead with a damp towel. I'm gonna save you, little guy. Luca seemed to have calmed down a little. I figured I could take care of what I needed to, so I quietly left the room. Is there someone in the lounge at this late hour? I saw a light through the gap in the door and softly pushed it open. Gil was inside. Surprise, surprise, it's Gil. I never would have guessed. He had poured himself an amber drink and was slowly swirling it around. I remember seeing Gil drinking alone like this in the past. Back then, I remember he took me out on a stroll because I couldn't fall asleep. But tonight, surprisingly, the air that surrounded Gil seemed to be heavier than usual. Despite seeing progress in our investigation, I had a feeling I knew why. Gil, are you worried about Luca?
あいつの家には金を届けさせた。もっと早く気づいてやれたらよかった。ルカとは何度も顔を合わせてたってのに。
I feel the same way. Well, if you want to count the 4 today, though, I only saw him twice. Gil's eyes looked down and he sighed sadly.
ガキが死ぬのは嫌な気分になる。
Huh. Yeah, I went through it once already. And I'm not gonna go through it again. We don't know for sure that'll happen. Luke is doing a good job. He's fighting even now.
ああ、そうだな。あいつ、ガキの頃の俺と似てるよ。むしろ俺よりしっかりしてるかもしれねえ。
Like, I was shocked when he was important in Orlok's route because I thought that he was going to be like a Gilbert exclusive route character. Just because they kind of look similar.
あいつ、よくやってくれた。おかげで糸口がつかめた。ルカのためにも、俺は絶対にこの件を解決する。裁判も、絶対に勝つ。
Yes, I'm sure Luca will be happy to hear it. I'd like a sip as well. Do you mind? I slowly approached him and sat down beside him. Gil's eyes grew wide in surprise, but he handed the glass over to me. I accepted with both hands and took a sip. As I returned the glass to him, I spoke slowly. I often feel regrets. I always tell myself, if only I could have done more. I visit Strano often to meet children who have no place to go. I always try my best to do something about it, but there were many times I was too late. Each time I regret it, and I tell myself that I'm going to do better the next time, but...
そうだな。俺もよくあるよ。
I'm sure you've witnessed many moments when people lost their lives. Of course, you're a mafia boss, but still, you're not used to people's deaths because you don't take life lightly. You suffer just like you are now. As I slowly voiced what was on my mind, I felt like I found my own answer. I couldn't just leave Gil behind, drinking alone like this. What you gonna do? I didn't want to see pain in his eyes. You see, I've been thinking for a while. Lily? I cut him off, I'm so sorry. I think I have feelings for you. Yep. You're good. I knew you were gonna do that. As I looked into Gil's eyes, I saw them widen. You saved me. You brought me here. Walking through Kreta with you and visiting different places. It was really fun, and it made me very happy to see how much you care for the people of Berlone and the town itself. I love this town too. And I love you. I thought that you were such a wonderful person. I realized I respected you. But it's different now. Of course, I do still think that of you. Before I knew it, I had fallen for you as a person. I awkwardly finished expressing how I felt, and Gil gave such a warm and kind smile.
やっと気づいたんだな。
Huh?
知ってたさ。あんたが俺を意識してくれてたのはな。
He's like, yeah, I knew. I knew you liked me. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was so obvious. As I froze in place, Gil looked at me lovingly. Aww. Let's see. You knew all this time? Well, that's embarrassing. So, you saw through it all?
あんなに可愛い反応されちゃあな。けど、あんたは自覚がなかったみたいだし、気づくまで待とうと思った。それに、あんたを意識するようになったのは、俺の方が早かったからな。
Aw, cute. What?
最初は拾ったからには責任を持たないといけねえと思った。けど、いつの間にか責任だけじゃなく、俺自身の意志であんたを守りたいと思うようになってた。
Gil shrugged a little, looking somewhat shy as he squinted his eyes.
あんたが早いとこ気づいてくれてよかった。危うく待ちくたびれるところだったぜ。
Cute. I sorry for making you wait. I felt my face burning and apologized as Gil laughed.
いいさ。自分で気づいて欲しかったしな。
Gil reached out for my cheeks. You getting a picture? A pretty picture? Oh, I didn't realize we were going here right away. Well, that escalated quickly. I couldn't look away as he drew closer. His irises were a deep pomegranate color. His iris? I'm gonna keep correcting you. You can't see his other eye, it's covered. Just before our lips touched, I spoke once again. I really like you, Gil.
ああ、俺もあんたが好きだ。
I saw his smile deepen as he accepted my feelings. I could feel his warmth through his lips. His kiss was so gentle that I could tell how much he cared for me. I felt as if I were touching the clouds. It was ticklish and dreamlike. My heart was so full of love, and just when I felt I wanted a little more, his lips slowly parted from mine, and our eyes met again. I'm gonna keep doing it. You can't see his other eye. Gil whispered in a low voice.
自分の気持ちに気づいたばかりのあんたをせかすつもりはないが、俺は本気であんたのことを考えてるし、あんたに
Aw,
本気で考えててほしい。
that's so sweet.
すべてが片付いたら、あんたにもっと触れてもいいか。
Huh?
あんたへの気持ちはキスだけじゃ伝えきれねえ。
I understood what Gil meant and nodded lightly. When everything was settled, the promise I made with Gil would guide us into the future. But for now, the trial loomed over as it drew near. Gil's such a nice guy. Who knew the leader of a mafia would be so nice? After submitting the documents, to the court, I stopped outside a bar in front of the police station. Nicola noticed me, downing the rest of his espresso at once before coming outside. Who am I?
時間通りだね。
そちらこそ。
Oh, Oliver. Gilbert's trial was tomorrow. Nicola and I arranged to meet here in order to share the situation with the Falzone. We walked together down the street.
じゃあ前置きなしで本題に入ろうか。お互い暇でもないわけだし。
願ってもない話だ。
僕たちは傍聴には行かないからね。裁判については君たちに全部任せるよ。
当然だ。私も無駄な騒ぎは起こしたくない。君たちが現れれば。書類の写しだ。渡すことはできないが、目を通してくれて構わない。
へえ、よくこんなに揃えたね。裁判の方は問題なさそうだ。僕もダンテにいい報告ができる。君のことは敵に回したくないな。
ニコラがビスコンティの人間なら、私の気苦労も少しは
Well, sometimes he temporarily is. Whenever the Falzone contacted the Visconti, Nicola usually acted as the intermediary. Being the liaison between the families was a very important and delicate role. Normally, it was forbidden for any members of opposing families to meet one-on-one. But they had a tactic I'm not quite sure how you say that word. They had an understanding that went unspoken for it to be allowed under certain circumstances.
幸運を祈るよ。ボナノって、オリバー。
案件当て。
Nicola handed back the folder to me. Our parting was very simple as always, especially because I was not a woman. Oh, okay. I watched him walking toward Falche, and I turned around to return to Creta. I walked quickly through the empty streets. Why do I feel like Oliver's gonna get, shot?
今夜の仕事はこれで全て終わりか。
Like, what's the purpose of this?
資料の最終チェックをする時間が取れそうで助かった。
Like, I have an uneasy
オ
feeling.
リバー・ハース。
Oh, great. I turned around and saw a man standing in the shadows, dressed in black. I felt an alarm ring inside my head. Run, Oliver! I took off running with all my might. Okay, he's gonna get shot. I heard gunshots fire behind me. Luckily, none hit me yet. I just needed to reach a bright street. Go, Oliver, go! We need this trial to go smoothly. I heard footsteps running after me.
シャイセ、私は体力に自信がないという
I
の
know
に。
you're in the middle of a chase, but let me just look at the dictionary here. German derogatory slang. Okay. But if I'm not there at the trial tomorrow, Gilbert's chances of losing is higher.
ここで死ぬわけにはいかない。
But before I could get to the major street, the man finally caught up and yanked my collar from behind. Oh no! He seemed to want to pin me down, so I punched and kicked and yelled loudly.
離せ！誰か警察を呼んでくれ！くっそ！黙りやがれ！
This is not good. He gave a relentless blow, and I felt myself lose my breath. Oh, jeez. I crumbled to the floor, and the men descended upon me without mercy. Just then, someone help me! Help! The men clicked their tongues, annoyed, and swiftly ran off into the night. Yeah, I thought that was Marco.
当たり前でしょ。
あんた大丈夫か？ってオリバーじゃねえか。
Thank God you showed up. That could have gotten so much worse.
助かった、マルコ。
Being a lawyer, I often visited the police station, the people station. Luckily for me, Marco appeared. He was a detective I was familiar with.
ひどい怪我だな。って撃たれてるじゃねえかこれ。そうなのか。走るのに夢中だったからな。気づかなかった。おいおい、血が出てるぞ。すぐ病院に。いや、痛みはあるが、手も足も動く。今はまず屋敷に戻らねば。
It was then I thought of one possibility. I didn't know what the men who attacked me were after, but it had something to do with the trial. I showed the documents to Nicola as well. He may also be under attack.
まずい、マルコ。ニコラが。
The night in Falche was silent, with no trace of any kind of commotion.
特に騒ぎは起きていないようだな。狙われたのは私だけか。
I felt relieved, finding out that I hadn't gotten him involved.
マルコ、どうかしたのか？
足元を見ろ、オリバー。暗いと目立たねえんだよな。
Oh. A dark shadow spread out under my feet. Looking closely, it appeared to be red. Nearby was a gun.
このベレッタ。
A pistol used by Nicola, made by an Italian company.
俺たちは間に合わなかったみてえだ。
Now Nicola's fine.
マルコ！
We turned around and Roberto was running towards us, out of breath.
探しましたよ。まったく黙っていなくなるんですから。
すまねえ、ロベルト。急ぎだったもんでな。
裏に車がいて逃げられました。
そうか。ロベルト、悪いがオリバーをビスコンティまで連れてってやってくれ。途中署に寄って若いの何人か連れてけ。腕の立つやつをな。
わかりました。マルコはどうするんですか？
俺はこのことをダンテに知らせねえと。
I don't think Nicola's dead. I really don't. New chapter. Second to last chapter. This route feels like it's going so quick. I don't know why it feels so fast-paced to me. I feel like we should not be this far in already. It doesn't even feel like Lily and Gilbert should be together yet. I don't think Nicola's dead. I really don't. I mean, especially because all we found is like his pistol and blood. Unless they're saying that like he was taken. Now I'm a little suspicious of Nicola just because he's Nicola and he's usually up to something a lot of the times. And I was getting that eerie feeling with like Oliver and Nicola meeting up. And when they both turned and went on opposite directions, like I had that feeling that like he was gonna get shot. I thought Nicola was gonna turn around and shoot him for a minute. I hope Nicola's not in on it. I hope I'm wrong. And I also hope he's not dead. Those are my hopes. Knowing Nicola, I don't know. I really don't. But you know, other than that, you know, the whole stuff with Lily and Gilbert was cute. And the director, oh, he's a bad boy. And I'm here for it. I cannot wait to find out more about that. Like, are we gonna confront him? Like, we're gonna get some good scenes with him? And if he's Secret Boy, it makes sense why Gilbert's route is the one you have to do last before that now. Because he seems to be the big bad of this route. Yeah. A lot of the stuff, it's interesting, but it's so complicated for me to like really fully understand and grasp the whole situation and like how it's working. But I think I've got the gist of it. Wow, okay. I was not expecting that ending there. I'm so glad that Oliver's okay. I was really worried he was gonna get killed. Stuff got really crazy there. I thought we were gonna, like, the chapter was gonna end there, and we're gonna end on a nice, cute, sweet moment with Gil and Lili. No, then Oliver almost gets murdered, and now I'm suspicious of Nicola. I don't know. But next time, this trial's gonna happen. I would think that'd be the next video. The trial's gonna happen, and we're gonna learn more about what the heck happened with Oliver there and Nicola. I'm very interested. I hope we can board the director in the next video too. That's my hope. But only 2 chapters of his route left. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, okay. My mind is like, boof. A lot happened, and that ending really threw me off. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!